my victim.
Come over to the green side. I'll make you rich.
What if Candyman versus Leprechaun actually happened? This is What If.
And ponder the question, what if?
Hey guys, welcome to the newest episode of What If. And despite what some of y'all think, no, the series is not dead. It's just due to lack of motivation and a bunch of other stuff getting in the way caused me to not continue the series. But I'm back, so yay. And in honor of St. Patrick's Day, I thought I would talk about something that not many people have talked about, and it's Candyman versus Leprechaun. Yeah, I kid you not. This was actually going to be a thing. Now, for those who don't know, Candyman vs. Leprechaun was going to be a crossover versus movie between the two films, Candyman from 1992 and The Leprechaun from 1993. And this would have been around the same era of Freddy vs. Jason. The studio wanted this film to be greenlit thanks to the success of Freddy vs. Jason. And they decided, what other horror icon do we have the rights to so we can make a versus movie? And Candyman and Leprechaun were the two franchises they hold the rights to for them to make a crossover versus movie event, and they even suggested it to Tony Todd himself. However, there was a small problem within the production. They went up to Tony Todd and said, hey, we're doing a versus movie between Candyman and Leprechaun. Are you game for it? And he was like, nah, son, not gonna do it. And here's what he had to say. You can only go to the well so many times. I was never interested in a versus movie. Another studio actually suggested to me a Candyman versus Leprechaun at one point. Tony Todd follows with an incredulous laugh. I'd kick him in his ass. Look, it's about profitability. Most of these movies now are reinventions, but there's no longevity. I could live forever with the thought of what we did in the first two Candyman films just fine, and I'm assuming he didn't want to come back for the third movie, Day of the Dead, but I guess they paid him for him to come back, so he decided, you know what, I'll do it anyway. Thankfully, Tony Todd had the restraint and stood his ground to reject the paycheck and was like, nah, son, not gonna happen. You can give me all the money in the world to make this movie, but I'm not doing it. But you have to admit, out of pure curiosity and imagine somewhere in an alternate universe, we would have liked to see what this movie would have been like or what it would have been about. Also, these two kinda have no similarities or connection to him. And when people say that, mostly 3C films, it's true actually. Like, look at the tones of the movies. The Leprechaun is all about being silly, foolish, with slight bits of horror, and Candyman is just nothing but being serious, horror, slow pace, and a crossover between the two. Some people just don't see it happening because it has to fall under the line of being wacky, silly, and insane, and it would have ruined the Candyman character. Not only that, but it would have robbed Candyman or Leprechaun of their mythology and lore. I bet like 3C films would shoo away. Some people say, oh, well, how about we have Chucky versus Leprechaun? Why? Just because they're both the same size? That's pretty much it. Well, that and they both have voodoo, but still. Now I want to hear it from you. Do you think Candyman vs. Leprechaun should happen? If so, how would it turn out? If not, then what other horror icon should either one of them go up against? Let's talk in the comments. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this new episode of What If, and if you do, as always, don't forget to hit me with a like and thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for all notifications, and comment down below to tell me what new What If episode do you want me to do next. This is JJ Cinema, signing off.